About a month ago, I reviewed the newly released $1,500 LG S95TR flagship soundbar, which comes with both a sub and rear speakers, and was pretty unimpressed with the results. That search has now led me to the Sony Bravia Theater Bar 9, and while it does not come with a sub or rear speakers, comes equipped with 13 built-in speakers and promises to deliver an immersive audio experience using Sony's 3D spatial sound mapping. Will it be another disappointment, or will this soundbar shine like a flagship product should and be worth the current $1,399 price tag? Let's talk about my experience and find out. Sony did not send me this unit to review. I 100% paid for it out of my own pockets. That said, if you find this video helpful and want to help support the channel, consider not only hitting that subscribe button and notification bell, but using the links in the description so I can afford to make more content like this. Now I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions on the Theater Bar 9's performance when it comes to movies, music, and sports, but before that, let's go over some of the basics in case you're not familiar with everything the soundbar has to offer. I did mention the $1,399 price tag, which covers the soundbar alone. However, if you're looking to build a complete package, you can add on a sub like the SA-SW5 or SA-SW3, and a set of rear speakers like the SA-RS5 or SA-RS3S. Just keep in mind that adding these on could increase your bill up to another $1,300. Now, for this video, we're going to focus on the Theater Bar 9 alone, since the soundbar is what it comes with. It delivers what you'd expect from a modern soundbar, including support for Dolby Atmos and DTS-X, but is also IMAX Enhanced certified, something you may not find on competitor soundbars. It also supports 4K and 8K HDR, Dolby Vision, and since it comes equipped with HDMI 2.1 ports, supports variable refresh rate and auto low latency mode, so you'll have the smoothest PS5 gaming experience. I mentioned the 13 built-in speakers. You've got 2 on the ends to help with surround distribution, 2 up-firing speakers up top that act as height channels, 2 woofers with passive radiators for solid bass, and along the front you'll find X-balanced speaker units with a tweeter in the middle. The 2 outside speakers feature a new 2-way design with small outside tweeters, which help deliver a wider soundstage. The bar's size also helps deliver a wide sound, as it measures about 51 inches wide with a depth of about 4.5 inches and a 2.5-inch height. The body feels like it's made of mostly hard plastic with a fabric grille covering the front and wrapping around the sides. There's nothing cheap about the build. It's got the Jacob Dark seal of approval. Once connected, the first thing you'll want to do is download the Bravia Connect app, where you can do a number of things like control the volume, increase or decrease the bass level, change your sound settings, update the software, and more. But you'll want to do an initial calibration using sound field optimization, which will calibrate the soundbar to your room acoustics so you can be a total novice and not know anything about EQ settings and let the soundbar do the work. Some soundbar calibration results leave a lot to be desired, but in my opinion, the Theater Bar 9's optimization will set you up pretty well. No further adjustments needed depending on what you're watching or listening to. Should you already own or plan to buy a compatible Bravia TV, there are some benefits you get for brand loyalty, which include auto HDR tone mapping and auto genre picture mode for gaming on your PS5. You get Voice Zoom 3, which is AI powered, and either reduces or amplifies dialogue volume, so even the quietest dialogue parts are loud and easy to understand. You can control the soundbar from the TV's menu, and probably the best feature, Acoustic Center Sync, which uses the TV's built-in speaker in conjunction with the soundbar speakers, so the TV acts as a center speaker, enhancing the overall center image. Any non-Atmos or stereo content you watch, like say coming from a cable box, will get upmixed to surround sound using AI sound separation, which detects human voices and makes them clear, while upmixing that boring 2-channel signal into a wider surround image. When it comes to music, the Theater Bar 9 supports Spotify Connect, Apple AirPlay 2, and Bluetooth, as well as high-res audio compatibility, low-resolution upmixing, and 360 reality audio using Sony's Digital Sound Enhancement Engine Ultimate, which uses AI to upscale compressed music in real time for a richer listening experience. And finally, for those who are buying this primarily to watch movies and binge your favorite shows, 360 spatial sound mapping, which once again uses AI to create a cinema-style environment by creating 5 phantom speakers in front of you and reflects sound off the ceiling and walls for that at-home Dolby Atmos sound. Enough about the specs and features and all the marketing mumbo jumbo. You want to know how it sounds and whether it's worth your hard-earned money. Now, after the initial calibration, I started off with my go-to movies for testing Dolby Atmos and surround sound, which include some of the most immersive audio scores and include movies like Avengers Infinity War and Annihilation. Now, after some testing, I found keeping it on 360 spatial sound mapping mode delivered the most theater-like experience, with DTS-X mode sounding too narrow and Dolby Speaker Virtualizer being the worst of the three. Setting the height to higher does make dialogue more audible and clear, but I feel like default has a better balanced overall sound and is ultimately my preference. Bass sounds good on the max setting, but depending on the source can sometimes be a bit overwhelming, so keeping it on mid ensures it always sounds good and achieves the best overall experience. When it comes to sports, I watched a few NBA, WNBA, and NFL replays, and I found I mostly prefer the same settings with 360 spatial sound mapping and bass set to mid, but I like to hear the commentators and crowd above the rest of whatever's going on, so setting the height to higher is my preference for sports or watching anything coming from my cable box. And while I keep my movies and sports settings pretty much the same, when it comes to music, I found the DTS-X setting sounds much more open and detailed versus 360 spatial sound mapping, which in this case sounds lower and hollow. It's the one area where 360 spatial sound mapping doesn't shine. Well, if you listen to bass-heavy music like hip-hop and R&B, you might find some songs can get distorted at louder volumes if you have the bass setting set to max. So once again, I prefer mid, which continues to be the best overall setting for a variety of sources. And finally, since you want your music to be loud and clear, the higher height setting is the way to go for the best open and detailed sound. Now, if you buy the Theater Bar 9, try out these settings and let me know if they sound best to you or if you prefer a different setup. When I think back to the excitement of trying out the LG S95TR with its included rear speakers and sub, and the disappointment I felt after getting inconsistent results and poor audio quality, well, let's just say I haven't been holding my breath and expecting the Theater Bar 9 to be amazing. But to my surprise, this soundbar excels, and while it doesn't get as wide as my regular home theater speakers because of placement, there are times when I forget I'm using the soundbar because yes, this one does sound that good. Infinity War, which is IMAX enhanced, sounds amazing, and if you're going to demo one movie to make up your mind, make it that one. I would normally be against spending $1,400 on a soundbar without a sub or rear speakers, but if this soundbar sounds this good without them, you can probably imagine how good the upgrade is. My only area of concern would be the total cost, which could run up close to $3,000 for everything, and at that point you might be entering AV receiver with 5.1 speaker territory. But if you know a soundbar is what you want, I can absolutely recommend this one, and until I hear something better, I'm giving the Bravia Theater Bar 9 the crown as the best soundbar of 2024. Now let me know if there's another soundbar you'd like me to review, and I'll do my best to get my hands on it. If you found this video helpful, consider using my links to buy your Theater Bar 9 and support the channel, but that's going to wrap things up for today. I'll see you next time.